Welcome to Tamara Tattletales. I'm Tamara, and I spill the tea on your favorite reality stars. Married at First Sight, Season 14, Boston, AfterParty. This was the first episode of AfterParty, hosted by Keisha Knight Pulliam. There's a distinct difference in energy between Keisha and Jamie. Jamie is more high energy, whereas Keisha is like low-key bubbly. I think she did a good job. I feel like she still needs to warm up though and get more comfortable and insert a little more of her personality into it. So she said that they are going to start each episode with a signature cocktail. In this episode, in honor of the Wild Bachelorette Party, this episode's drink was called Wild Bride. All the brides took a sip, but Keisha didn't, which I thought was kind of funny. Like she may have slipped some truth serum in it or something. So let's keep in mind that these after-party episodes, just like Unfiltered, they start filming a couple of months after the weddings. I assume that they have to wait for producers and editors to decide which footage is actually going to make it on the show before they can have Keisha and the cast sit down and talk about it. It takes a while to edit and get the final cut, so here they are a few months later. Since Lindsey was the only one who got married in episode 1 and the most outspoken, this was the Lindsey show. She did the majority of the talking, even more than Keisha, it felt like to me. And I said the same thing about the first episode of the season. I felt like it was kind of the Lindsey show. They talked about their non-negotiables. Lindsey's were no belly and no baby teeth. Katina said her non-negotiable is that he had to be taller than her. Now keep in mind, she's matched with Michael, who is shorter than her. We didn't get to hear Jasmina's non-negotiable. When it comes to who applied to be on the show and who was scouted, Lindsey and Katina said they applied and Jasmina said she was approached. Now at the bachelorette party, Lindsey spoke to Alyssa. She said Alyssa was very specific about the type of guy she wanted. She likes muscle guys with tattoos and wasn't willing to compromise at all. So Lindsey said, if this girl isn't willing to compromise, how is she gonna be in a marriage? I don't think she's real, I think she's fake. Lindsey is definitely not Team Alyssa. After the matchmaking episode, I suspected that Alyssa was not gonna find Chris attractive. After hearing this, I'm pretty sure she won't. Meantime, I spotted Jasmina making some interesting faces when Lindsey spoke. I have a feeling she's not a fan of Lindsey's. So the ladies said at the bachelorette party, they exchanged phone numbers to start a group chat to get to know each other. The day after the bachelorette party, Lindsey decided to call Alyssa to get to know her. She told Alyssa that since we're gonna be living in the same complex for like 8 weeks, I figured we should get to know each other. But I tried to check you out on Instagram and it looks like you blocked me. Alyssa said, my dog has Lyme disease, I have to go, and then hung up. Lindsey was not happy with Alyssa after that exchange, and Jasmina was like, I think you are very confused as to why she blocked you. At the bachelorette party, you talked about Alyssa behind her back. Her 2 friends and my 2 friends heard it, and your words made it back to Alyssa. This was Lindsey's response to Jasmina.
We are new, we're just meeting each other. You're about to marry a stranger, so let's be open-minded. Because if you're willing to shut somebody down on one impression, it's probably not gonna work out well for your marriage.
First of all, she ain't marrying you. And secondly, you were talking crap about her behind her back, then tried calling her to be your friend. Now who's being fake? Keisha said it sounds like there was some kind of misunderstanding. It felt like she wasn't even listening. 4 people heard Lindsey talk about Alyssa behind her back. Where is the misunderstanding? All right, let me calm down. Keisha asked Katina about her party life, like how often she used to party. She said she worked in a nightclub, so she was always in the scene. But outside of that, she used to go out like 3 or 4 times a week and used to be the life of the party. But when the quarantines happened, she calmed down. So she still gets an itch every now and then to party, but reminds herself that she's not that person anymore. Keisha asked the ladies if they had to tell any of the men if they were off the market after being picked for the show. Katina said she had to make one phone call to tell a guy that she referred to as her go-to that she was doing a show, but she wasn't allowed to reveal which one and couldn't talk to him anymore. Then she changed her number. Lindsey said she changed her number too, and Jasmina kept her phone number the same. Keisha asked Lindsey about her mom's reaction when she found out she was getting married. Lindsey started crying at this question. She said it's really hard to want love from a person who brought you into this world and not get it. Before she went into the bachelorette party, she saw an email her mom wrote where she was saying horrible things about Lindsey. Her mom was in town at the time of the wedding. She lives in Texas, but she intentionally flew back home to avoid attending the ceremony. In terms of her first impression of Mark, she was like, okay. Keisha was like, that's it? And then Lindsey said this.
Tan, hair gel, kind of looks like a Guido.
Okay.
Never have I dated a Guido. Okay. Not my type.
After this, Keisha asked Lindsey how their first kiss went.
I was just like, I'm gonna kiss him because we gotta kiss him. I'm gonna kiss him. It was, like kissing your grandmother. Nothing really special.
She doesn't regret drinking so much the morning of her wedding. She said she had on pasties, which was why she didn't mind exposing herself in her wedding dress. When she was caught laying on the park bench, she said this was at the end of the day and she was just super tired and decided to relax on the bench. Keisha asked Jasmina and Katina what their first impressions are of Lindsey and Mark. This is what Jasmina had to say.
I think that they're super cute. Like, they just get each other. They're super bubbly. He could have been like, oh my God, right off the bat, but he was just like joking with her too, and the conversation just seemed to like flow. I think they were pretty cute together.